So, there's been a press release announced about a week ago for ESPN for the ESPN and ABC lineup. That's right. In college basketball on ABC. This year, there is less NBA on ESPN this year, as instead of just having two networks, or actually three networks having games, there was ESPN and ABC/ABC. There was TNT, which just aired games. Usually it was Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then you had Wednesdays and Fridays was on ESPN, and then you would have Saturday nights be on ABC, and Sunday afternoons be on ABC. Then you would have NBA TV on Mondays and Thursdays, as well as if there's ESPN having college women's college basketball tournament, or college football, the bowl game, stuff like that. They would air them. It would air on NBA TV. But now that NBC and Amazon Prime have came into the mix, now to fill that airspace, now the times that there are no NBA games on ESPN, they have NHL they have NHL on Saturday afternoons, or maybe Saturday nights, depending on what their ABC is with the NBA. So, but they do have some. They usually do not have college basketball on ABC. It's usually the college football with the bowl games on Saturdays. And then they might have NCAA women's volleyball tournament and FCS or FCS playoffs, the quarterfinals, semifinals, championships, stuff like that, or if it's on the weekends. Or then they would have the NCAA women's volleyball championship mid-afternoon. It got moved to, so it could be on ABC. So Indians will take it, gets more viewers, more eyes in the sport. But ESPN and ABC lineup, which is all the games on the ABC channel. For women's college basketball, we have a showcase game on Saturday on Sunday, December 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern, with Baylor at Texas in women's basketball. Then on Sunday, February 1st, it is a women's college basketball game with Oklahoma at Texas at 3 p.m. on the 1st. That is when, and then Sunday, February 1st, we'll have Alabama and men's is Alabama at Florida. And then in the women's side, on the 8th of February, we have Tennessee at South Carolina. And then Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern, the big one for women's college basketball, is South Carolina LSU at LSU, 8:30 Eastern. Usually a lot of the big men's games are earlier in the day. There's usually not the big men's games later at night, because there are still some games, but there are not as many big ranked versus ranked matchups or the big top 25 teams, because they have usually ESPN on ABC. Would have the NBA, and they would so big games would be on there. And I have Kansas at Iowa State on 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then 3 p.m. Eastern, we took at Florida. But with with ESPN now earning the rights to air SEC games on ABC now. I mean, last year they had rights to SEC and ABC, but they never did really much. This year they're tapping out more. And then on Sunday the 15th is a doubleheader. North Carolina at Duke and Texas at Tennessee. And then women's is North Carolina at Syracuse and at 1 Eastern on 21st for the men. And Arizona at Houston at 3 p.m. Eastern. So, you can see right here. So a lot of it's in February. But on the 14th is the Sprouts Farmers Market ESPNW Invitational. So it's an ESPNW Invitational. Sprouts Farmers Market. And then we just have some big games in women's bed. And then men's later in the season. You'll see like top teams going for the tournament later in the year. So at least I wouldn't be surprised if ESPN is using that, during the afternoon. Having college basketball on ABC earlier in the day, and then maybe NHL. I know on the Saturday, the 14th, it's during the Olympics. So there have been some games at night because NHL is going to take that big break for the Olympics because they're now allowing NHL players to compete in the Olympics. Before they banned NHL players from the Olympics. And now they're